fundamentals of investment. I'm so sorry, we are starting a little bit late because I was thinking we're going to cancel this class since at 8:30 there was no one, at 25 to there was no one. So I was actually now actually thinking, let me just wait a few more minutes. And then my Mahesh joined. And then 2 other people joined. So we will just go ahead so that we get going. And if theory being, if people miss the class, they will listen to the recording and off we go. Otherwise, my name is Dr. John Yamunda, and today we are going to cover a few more things. And I'm thinking it's going to be important things. Okay, let's see. Let's start here. Where do we start? We start where we are. That's what they say. You start where you are. Where else can you start? Okay, let's go here and say, how often do you visit my UNISA platform? It's only the 3 of you. 3 people is a small number, but so it's okay. It's okay. Make your choice there. Make your choice there. Now we have 4 people, which is also a good number. Probably by the time we finish, we have maybe 10, 15 people joining in slowly. How often do you visit my UNISA platform? Daily, weekly, monthly, never. So that it's always important. It's an important statistic. It's an important statistic to know. How often are you on my UNISA there? Okay. Let's see. Let me make a choice so that I can see what's happening. Oh, okay. Everyone is probably 2 people actually. 2 people have said, oh, daily. Okay, probably that explains why you are here. That explains why you are here. Because if people don't come to my UNISA, and one thing I realized, I think this week or last week, was that if my UNISA is not working, there is no way of contacting anyone. And yesterday, when I wanted to post the link on my UNISA also went down. So there was then we got just really, yeah, but that's technology.
Yes, we've also experienced the same thing. By the time we get to actually put in our comments or respond to your our discussion forums, there's no time to do it because we like kind of working, and then when we do get the time, the system is down after working hours, and then we just have to catch up on your recording. So that's why you've seen I haven't been basically posting on the discussion forums on those study units.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been a challenge.
Yeah, but you get it. So what I took so that we just share with you and with everyone who will listen to the recording. What I try to do is to go on my UNISA every day. And since the semester started, I think I've been there probably almost every work day. So I go there early morning, around 6 a.m. Or if I'm busy the next day, I'd go midnight, where maybe 12 a.m. I post something. So every day there is usually new content there.
And it helps a lot, honestly. For guys like me that needs that visual interaction, and we don't have that time, it really helps. And thank you very much for that, Doctor.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the idea, is to say it helps, but who knows? At least it helps you. Yeah, but okay, that's the idea, is to say you post something. It's something different from the textbook, and it's something or to explain, or because to just reinforce. But and I try to make it short, 5 minutes, max maybe 10 minutes, to just make it worthwhile. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Today we are going to do bonds, multi-stage. This okay, let me look for a pointer. Where is the pointer? Where is my pointer? Pointer here. This multi-stage discount model he would say, I think this is the thing we're going to cover last, but we're going to do expected return, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and there are a few theory questions along the. When I was looking at this, slide before class, I said, oh, I have so many theory questions. I had more theory questions than I expected. Okay, so let's talk about a bond. This is an important concept, especially for this module, because bonds are the longest study unit. So we are going to talk about bonds today, but you will see from Monday, if you are back online, that's when I started posting. This week I was posting technical analysis on my Yolisa. From Monday going forward, I think for 2 weeks, we'll be just posting about bonds. It's a very long study unit. And I think in the exam, you can easily get 3-4 questions on it. And if you say 4 questions out of 40, it's a lot of questions, because that's like 10% of the exam. That's a lot of things, and the funny thing is there are lots of different things about bonds, and lots of sometimes complicated things about bonds, which you have to master. But today we are still covering the basics of bonds. So we say a bond. Okay, so a bond is a contract between the borrower and the lender. The basics is to say, okay, let me show you on a number line, so that I don't just tell you what's written there. Okay. So we are saying it's an investment. So someone borrows or someone buys. So if you are buying, it's an investment. In exchange, it pays a coupon. A coupon being a periodic payment, usually yearly or half yearly. And at maturity, it pays back. So if you have invested, so you have lent out your money to someone or to an organization or to the government in exchange of getting these constant coupons or interest payments, fixed interest payments for the entire period. And at maturity or at the end, you are going to be paid back your money. Basically, that's that's the cash flow. That's how the bond works. So from the beginning, from the start to the end, we call that term to maturity, or just maturity. We know that. So when they say maturity, they are trying to look for this period. And when they say coupon, they are saying, what is this periodic payment? That's a coupon. And if they say future value or maturity value, they are saying what is going to be paid to the lender at maturity. Okay, so we are saying if we are trying to find the value of a bond, we look at it like this. We see all these constant payments, and we are going to try to discount to say, what is the present value of coupon 1, coupon 2, up to maturity? And what is also the present value of this maturity period? You see this blue line pointing up. And what are we using to discount? We are using to discount today using what we call yield to maturity. So the yield to maturity will be given in a question. Okay, that's too much theory. Let's do it with numbers. Okay, so we have this. So let's say a question comes to say, calculate the value of the bond whose annual coupon is 10%. Matures in 3 years at a face value of 1,000, and the yield to maturity is 8%. So you are told that this bond matures in 3 years. So you can see it's going to pay the 1, 2, 3. And how much is it going to pay? We are going to say 10% of the face value of the maturity value, which is this 100, 100, 100. So now we can see the coupon. So this is the coupon. And at maturity, you can see this 1,000. And what are we going to use to say what is the value of this bond? We are going to discount using this yield to maturity of 8%. Okay. So to do that, you can see you put in your financial calculator. 1,000 is the FV, 100 is PMT, N equals to 3, N equals to 3 because it's 3 years, 3 payments. 3 years, you are told here, 3 payments. And yield to 8 is your yield to maturity or your I in the financial calculator. Why 8? Because we are told yield to maturity here is 8%. Then you say compute present value, then it gives you 1051.54. Okay, don't worry about this premium. We call it a premium point, but don't worry about it now. So what I want you to do is to take out your financial calculator and do this question. This one is yours. Your question here, nicely highlighted. And if something is unclear, ladies and gents, it's just the four of us. You can just ask and then we deal with it and off we go. Otherwise, just do that calculation and then post in the chat once you get a... Does anyone not have a financial calculator? Okay, I presume everyone has a financial calculator. And it's called a presumption. It's called a presumption. Everyone has a financial calculator. So you go to your calculator and make sure that you punch in whatever numbers are there, punch in the calculator, and then you say compute present value, and then you post it in the chat. Okay, so the issue is we are too few. So I'm waiting for Mpo and Serongwane. TP, Mpo and TP. That's the problem of being too few. That's the problem of being too few. TP, what's happening there? TP, what's happening? And Mpo, what's happening? You can put in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. You can just say, tell me what's happening so that we know, because it's the four of us. It's not like we have a class of 50 people where you can just ignore some people. We're 4 people. Okay. And Mpo. Okay. Mpo is quiet. Okay. Mpo is quiet.
Morning.
Yes.
Well, I'm not getting any of the options.
Oh, you're not getting any of the options?
Yeah, I'm getting 836. I don't know.
836. And what did you put as your FV there in your calculator? Okay. So AV the 1000, they actually 943 is the correct answer. So AV, like Mahesh put, the AV is 1000, PMT is 1000 times 11%, N10, 1 over YR goes to 12%, PV 943. Happy? Everyone is happy? Mpo, did you see where things were not going well? Okay. I'm going once. Going twice, gone. Okay. There we go. Another question on bonds. This you should, ladies and gents, you should just make sure that you master this, because this valuation of bonds, it's simple, but it helps us when we get to the next week, when we go to bonds. These simple calculations, or these calculations, I don't know, I shouldn't say simple. These calculations are fundamental, because when you want to find what we call bond convexity, bond duration, these simple calculations are, we assume you already know them. So if you are stuck on here, you are not saying anything, it means you are just postponing the problem, which will grow worse as we get more complicated. But okay, I'm just talking because I'm waiting for you to do this red one. I kept the green one at the top, and I gave you this red one. And while you are working hard, I am just fiddling with things here. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can change my, because now I'm on my Wi-Fi. I'm connected to one Wi-Fi. Then what's that? Okay, that's nice. My agent and Manessa got two completely different answers. No, my agent had posted yet. Okay, both of you got the same answer. Okay, now we are waiting for TP and Mpo. TP and Mpo, we are waiting. You know, the other time where I had a small class like this, and I ended up losing people. I'm laughing, but it wasn't funny. Yes.
So maybe perhaps maybe somebody didn't understand where you don't get the 10% maturity or a percentage of maturity, because the zero coupon rate, there's no percentage to actually work on.
Yes,
maybe
yes,
just touch base on that, and then we can.
That's the thing we need to talk about. That's why in my initial slides, I did this as my first question. And then I said, no. That's a bad way of teaching. So I gave a simple one first. Then this one is a follow-up question so that we can see what's happening. TP, we are waiting for you, TP.
I'm struggling to get the answers.
Okay, so
options.
Oh, you are not getting the data. Okay, let's look at what's happening here. Okay, so you can see FV there is 1,000. You happy?
Yes, I can see that.
PMT is 0. N is 40. I over Y is 8 divided by 2, because 8 divided by 2.
Oh, I've been going wrong on the PMT.
Of course,
I went wrong on the IR. I went wrong on the IR. So
oh,
I didn't divide by 2. I multiplied by 20, but I didn't divide by 2.
I think I forgot to multiply by 2 there as well for the number of years.
Oh, it's okay. So you can see. Okay. So that's why we are here. So you can see when there's a zero coupon down, this is what happens. Okay. We are going. Since people saw the way they went to. Okay, now this is a multiple choice. That's good. Let's take a break, a little bit of a break and do multiple choice. That's what we call a break. Multiple choice. Okay, a poll coming your way. Okay, in our lives, a break is doing a poll of a theory question. Then you just choose one of the options. What determines the slope in the security market line? The expected rate of inflation, attitude, market risk premium, change in beta. Make a choice. That's a theory question. If there's no pop-up coming your way, then you can type in the chat. Paul says 3. Okay, let me put that one for you. Submit. Then we are left with two more people. What determines the security market line? Now that's where theory becomes handy to say, now what does the theory actually say? Okay. So what determines the security market line? It turns out is the market risk premium. Market risk premium. Let's see. Okay, then the three of you go to say the market risk premium. So that's slope. If you get this in the exam, you should know that the answer is the market risk premium. Okay, let's go. Oh, yes. I wanted to skip this. I usually am tempted to skip this video, but I think it's worthwhile. I listened to it beforehand, and I thought it is such an important message. Let's go for it. Go for it. Where is it? Here it is. No. It's here. And because I was listening to it, it's right at the end. Let's pull this one all the way to the back like that. Did you see me say share with sound? I don't think so. I didn't see myself share with sound. I forgot again. I'm behaving like an old man. I am behaving like an old man. Share with sound. Because if without sound, then you are not doing anything. Okay, let's go.
People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
There are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world. Those with the second ask what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more dessert. No, we working out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
Every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else, I'm competing with what I'm capable of. My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't get here making excuses. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. Why? Because I owe it to myself. Can't nobody stop me but me.
Nobody can stop me but me. Interesting. Every time I listen to it, I say, it's a worthwhile message we need to hear from time to time. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Let's continue. Another theory question. Another theory question. There we go. Theory question your way. Which of the following statements, okay, it pops up there. It pops up there. Which of the following statements is true regarding fundamental analysis in stock valuation? That's yours. And then you remember how it works. Let me just show you what it looks like. How it works, you have to say you answer the first question and then you go to the second and then you submit. Because there are two questions in one. First question, then you click that arrow at the bottom where it says 1 of 2. And then you submit. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I think after this, we are going to go to calculations. Go back to start calculation. So we're taking a bit of a break. After this, we are going to do expected return, and then I think some theory, and then we do standard deviation, some theory, and then multi-stage evaluation. Then we are, if we do multi-stage, oh, we are doing so well. Which of the following statements is true regarding fundamental analysis in stock valuation? It involves make a choice, fundamental analysis. Which of the two is true regarding fundamental analysis? Okay, next. Which of the following financial ratios would be the most useful in assessing a company's liquidity? Of course, that one. And then...
Can you please kindly show me how you select your options again?
I just submitted. Okay, type in the chat there. You say number 1, choose the number 1A, number 2, because I just submitted. So I can't show, I was waiting and then I decided to submit. Number 1A, number 2B, or number 1C, or whatever. Then you type in the chat. So you can yeah, probably we have okay, now we have 6 people, 4 responses. Okay, we can continue because I think one person just joined, so probably they are still getting settled. Okay, so number 4 says number 1C. Okay, let's see, what does the poll say? What does it say? What is it saying? Okay, it involves analyzing. So most of you, if not all of you, say it involves analyzing a company's financial statements and economic and determine its intrinsic value. That's true. Okay. Number 2, so most of you chose this one, which is true. That's fundamental analysis. Which of the following ratios? Okay, let me actually do this. So which of the following ratios? Of course, it's a current ratio. Liquidity, it's a current ratio. Unless if there was a quick acid ratio, then that would be the which shows you but current ratio shows you liquidity. Current ratio shows you liquidity. Okay, let's continue. Okay. So when we are, there's a thing which we call expected return. For if you have done standard deviation, this would sound familiar. Expected return is to say, when people invest, they expect a return in their investment. So when you buy, I always want to start with property because property is what's very familiar to most people. If you buy a flat for rentals, what you're expecting is for people to pay you rent. So when you buy a flat, like, let's say if you were here in Durban, you buy a flat in town. Let's say you buy it for 400,000 rands. You're expecting them to pay you, let's say, about 3,000 every month or 3,500 every month. Is it that rental becomes your return? In addition, you're expecting that you bought it for 400,000, probably in 2 years, it's valued at 450,000, which is what you're hoping. That's the expected return. So to find the expected return, but the challenge with expected return is to say, let's go back to, let's go back there. The challenge with expected return is you want to say, you are saying, I'll get a tenant who will pay me 3,000 rands. But you are never sure. Remember, in Durban, you bought a flat in Durban Central, those big flats which are overlooking the sea there. You are never sure that you are going to get someone who is going to pay you 3,000 or 3,500 or 4,000 or 2,000 or not pay you anything. So you end up with what we call a probability to say what is the probability that they are going to pay me 3,000? What is the probability that they are going to pay me 3,500? What is the probability that they are going to pay me 4,000? So you end up with a probability distribution when you are trying to calculate an expected return. So this is easier expressed, shown here. So I was just telling you the theory so that at least in your head, it sits, you know what we are trying to do when we are doing the numbers. So we are saying we have a asset A. So what is calculate the expected return of asset A? You are saying the expected return, because we are probability, 30% probability that it will give you 15%, 50% probability that it will give you 10%, 20% probability that it will give you 2%. So to find expected return in that case, you say 0.3 times 15, that's the first line, 0.5 times 10, second line, 0.2 times 2, then it gives you 2,990. Your job is to do this one. And once you finish this for the first ones, if you finish this early, you can also do this one, expected return. Calculate expected return for B, expected return for C. So this is the B, and this is the C. So where I say B is probability there. So do that and post in the chat. Do that and post in the chat. So Manesa and Mahesh, you do C. Let's see C, what you are going to get for C. Expected return for C. And Impo, next, do C. So Mahesh done C, 9.7. Okay, Manesa. And the TP. What's happening? TP. Okay, TP, are good. BM, what's happening? BM, what's happening? BM, you joined a small class. So if it's a small class, the problem is we can actually see you and you actually find out what's happening there. That's the problem. But sometimes it's a good thing because then actually we can actually attend to individual problems. Because if I had a class of 50, no chance I'll just get 10 posts and I'm moving. BM, where are you? Where are you stuck? Okay. Okay, let's move. Let's move. BM is not talking to anyone. Not even a chat. Okay, so as you can see, the network, okay? So as you can see, 0.8 times, okay, most of you got 11.7. And do we need to do this one together or we are good with it? I think you are good with it. No, I think you're good with it because if you got it right, why should we spend time doing what's theory? Okay? Ah, nice. Then we go to theory. A bit of theory before we get to the. Aha. This one, I don't have a poll for this one because the question doesn't fit nicely in the poll. The following are characteristics that relate to a specific stage in the industry life cycle. Read all this and then choose your option here. These questions, I found them in some past exam papers, so they are worthwhile. Make your choice there. Make your choice, 1, 2, 3, or 4. One, two, three, four. Make your choice, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Mahesh chose option 4. Everyone else, I'm assuming you are reading very fast. Make your choice. You have to type in the option there because I couldn't fit this on the poll because that poll doesn't look nice on they won't look nice on the Teams poll. That question. BM option 4. Vanessa says option 4. You're just winning. As long as you know that about 50% of the exam is theory. TP option 4. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those who have read theory and those who haven't, it looks like you know what you're doing. It's actually option 4. It's still, because there are some very giveaways here. Like profits continue to be squeezed, firms low returns on capital. Yeah, so it's this one, option 4, true. Okay. Now, okay. Now let's talk about, we are talking about standard deviation. You know, I live in Durban. That's why I like to give you examples from Durban. You decide to buy a flat in Durban Central in preparation for your retirement. Okay, that's a good idea, hopefully. Yeah, I expected the rent house for next year. Q1, so you have 2 flats. Which one would you prefer and why? Okay, flat 1 and flat 2. So this one, 75, 72, 71, 82, flat 2, 10, 5, 1, 2, 13.8. Which one of the two would you prefer? Make a choice. Which one of the two flats would you prefer? Shall I say flat 1? And you can tell us why. Which one would you prefer? Which flat? Flat 1, flat 2, flat 1, flat 2. Let's go for it. This is just flat 1, flat 2, and why? Flat 1. You guys pay at least say the minimum. Just say I prefer flat 1. Then we can take it from there. Or flat 2. Okay. So Mpo prefers flat 1. She says it's more constant. Mahesh, flat 1, there's constant in the stream of income. Manessa, flat 1, BM, flat 1, TP. So all of you prefer flat 1. Mostly because of this consistent rent we are getting. The variations are not that big. That's what Manessa says. That's why you prefer flat 1. So if we were to, so when we talk about standard deviation, we are saying variability of return. Why I was showing you those two flags, because I always want to start from something which is very familiar and easy to understand. If we start with the shares, it becomes a little bit confusing. But we say variability, so we can say, you can see there's lower variability of renders. To say, it's called like, okay, let's use the terms here. The render we are getting from flat 1, expected the render is constant compared to flat 2. So we are saying that consistency of render, we say it's not as variable, or there's limited up and down swings. So when we talk of standard deviation, we are saying, how does the expected return differ from the average? Or in terms which you are likely to see in your textbook, how much do outcomes deviate from the mean? Okay, so now you can see we are moving from familiar, we are getting more technical, more financial language out of our mouths. So now Mahesh, when you are talking to your friends over Bra, you are no longer saying, see, the income is constant. No. Because now we've done investments, you're going to say there is a lot of, it's not the variability is low, the variability from the mean is low. Then you can sip away your whiskey nicely. John Walker Black, because you have actually said something. So that variability from the mean. So yeah, if you're in the kitchen telling stories with your friends, them point, they are saying, no, there's so much volatility in that investment. Okay. All those things, we are actually talking about standard deviation. How far is it moving away from the mean? So if we look at these two shares, Sanlam and Delta Properties, we are told that the current price is that. But if you look at estimate 1, if you look at the average there is 68. So if we look at the Sanlam share, you can see all the numbers are close to 68. And you can, if you look at Delta Properties, you can see 140. So they are so far from the mean. No, Mahesh, you need to more talking, less whiskey. So you can see how far they are. So when I talk about standard deviation, okay, this is just to prepare you to look at this graph. So if you look at these two lines, you see the blue line is all the returns are close to the 50 of mean, or the mean of 50. So we say the standard deviation of the red line, because it's further away from the mean, the standard deviation of the red line is bigger because all the expected outcomes are further away from the mean. So the variability from the mean. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindy, well, that's the word you're supposed. No more standard deviation. You say variability from the mean. So they say, your friends say, what is standard deviation in Lindy? Where you say it's variability from the mean. Okay. Now you understand the theory. I hope you understand. And then once you finish, that is, don't you understand variability? Okay, that's how you explain it. So there's a formula for standard deviation. So it's square root of expected return square times p. That's the formula. But no, don't worry. I'm going to actually do something. So we have these probability is asset A, B, and C. So the probability is the same. The probability is 30%, 50%, and 20%. Asset A return is 15, 10, and 2. Okay, so that's what we are working with. So what is the standard deviation of A? Okay. So the first step, remember our formula there, look at the formula there in the corner. We say return I minus expected return. So expected return, remember we calculate the expected return. So we need to first find the expected return for A. So expected return for A, this is A. Expected return for A is 0.3 times 15 there, plus 0.5 times 10, which is there, plus 0.2 times 2, which gives us 9.9%. So now we have expected the return. Then we jump all the way down here. Since we have expected the return, we can do it in a one big shot. So we say 15 minus 9.9. So we're saying 15 minus expected return, which is there, squared times 30. Okay, so you are holding your hand very steady there. Then if you are doing it on a calculator, then you write the answer down. 10, which is this one, minus 9.9. Where is 9.9 coming from? The expected return. You square that result times 0.5. Where is the 0.5 coming from? This one. So we are saying 10 minus 9.9 squared times probability plus 2, this 2, minus 9.9, which is the expected return, we square times 0.2, which is there. You will get 20.2. That 20.2 is called variance. That 20.2 is variance. To get to standard deviation, we need to find a square root of that 20.29. Then it gives you 4.5. That's the standard deviation. But we also, in investments, we also like to standardize the standard deviation. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting even more exciting. More terms which don't mean anything to many people. So you have start by saying variability from the mean. Then you are going to say BM, you are going to say, okay, but you see, this variability from the mean, it doesn't really make it possible for us to compare. So we need to standardize that variability from the mean. Okay, they will be so impressed. So to standardize the standard deviation, or you will find what we call the coefficient of variation. To find the coefficient of variation, what the coefficient of variation tries to do is to say, we have found all these different standard deviations, but we want to compare these standard deviations, but that doesn't come in the exam. So coefficient of variation is standard deviation divided by expected return, which gives you this one. So that's the formula. Yes, Paul.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just to take you back,
Yes.
the 20.2, you said it's called what?
It's called a variance.
The variance.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So if we are given a variance, they say, yeah, the variance is blah, 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 blah. So in the formula needs you to do a standard deviation. So you know that you could you have to find the square root of that to get your standard deviation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I talk too much. Yes, I agree, I talk too much. So this is what we were doing together, this one at the bottom. Your question now is to find the standard deviation of asset B. So what I can do, I can block this, because this is a long way of doing standard deviation. I used to teach this long way, but I realized with time that people were saying it's easier. The way I was showing you now is easier, but I'm going to block the long way so that it's not too much information in front of you. Let's go for it. Go for it, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm trying to block something there so that it doesn't overload you with things which you don't need. Okay, take this. Then we do this. Ooh, it's too much. It's just too much. The color is just distracting. It's blocking, but also distracting. So let's look for a nice, harmless color like that one. Ah, I'm happy with that one. Is harmless. Ah, that one. It just looks like it's a clumsy slide or clumsy table. So you are doing standard deviation for B, and I showed you what we were doing before in the previous slide is this at the bottom as an example. Find the expected return.
You block the probability for
Did I block the let's see. Look at me, I'm holding the wrong one. No, the probability is the same. The probability is here.
Oh, okay, sorry, yes, okay.
I needed to have more probability, but my table was getting too wide. It wouldn't fit on the slide. So I said, let me keep one probability. Let's go. If you are, ladies and gents, the class is small. If you are stuck with something, you can just raise your hand and we can deal with it. The class, we are not too many. The beauty of a small class is that if you have a question, you can ask it. If it's a big class, we ignore you because there are just too many people. But the challenge with a small class is one of the, okay, let me shut up. I'll tell you why once we finished what you're doing. Let me put myself on mute. That will help me. Once you find the expected return, ladies and gents, please post it in the chat so that I can see your progress. Once you find the expected return, post in the chat, and then when you find the variance, post it. Once you find the CV, post it. Expected return, post, so that I can see you're making progress. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here. Okay, Mahesh, I can see you thought you fixed yourself there. I didn't want to say anything. Manessa, if you are fast enough, you can try to do standard deviation for C. Do CV first, coefficient of variation, and then if you are fast enough, then try to do C. One more minute. Lindy, where are you stuck anyway, or we are just not posting? Okay, I think the minute is up. I am sure the minute is. Where are you? Okay, let's look at the answer. Then I will ask Lindy where she's actually stuck. Okay. Whew. With this break, it really makes it look very nice. So expected return for B, I see most of you got 17.7. And expected return for C, 9.9. I'm doing it in a very clumsy way. But standard deviation for B, most of you got it right. Got it right. CV, my Asia, too slow. Too slow. We are already here at CV. Okay. No, but if you keep on doing it, it will be so fast with time. Okay. Lindy way now we are back to Lindy way. Because why should I teach you when so all of you are getting it right? Lindy way, where are you stuck? Do you want us to do it? Yes, Lindy way.
All right, thank you, sir. I don't know, maybe it's because of maybe I joined late. I had some connection issues as well, connectivity issues. So now it's now that I realize that I don't think I even understood the example. With me joining on my cell phone and trying to settle in, I think I'll do this later on. I will be fine.
I won't allow it. Let's do it together. Let's do it together because then you made an effort. You made it an effort to come. So I will pull my spreadsheet, my favorite. Okay, so if I make a mistake, we need, who shall we blame? We need to blame someone. Let's blame Paul. If I make a mistake, not when she makes a mistake. When you make a mistake, it's your own problem. But if I make a mistake, it's Paul's fault. Okay, so the first thing we are supposed to do here, okay, let's do it by hand. So what are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to do B, not C, then. We're trying to do B. So what we can do here is to let's do this so that it can fit nicely. I think if it's here, I think okay. So expected return there. Now we are all trying to help Lindy catch up because she's on a phone, so she's not following nicely. So expected return, we are trying to do expected return for B. We are going to say equals to nice, my mistake is impulse mistake times 15, my mistake. But if I get it right, it's my credit. So we are saying 0.3 times 2. Okay. Mpo, see, you were letting me make a mistake. You already making mistakes for me. Plus, open bracket. Then we are doing normal days, probability day and expected return 0.5 times even my hash could catch up with us. How fast we are, she will not even be able to catch up with us. 0.2, this is the last line, recession, 0.2 times 1. Times 1. And I can see 17.7, we all got it right. We are happy, so we are excited. Now we are doing the, okay, so to make our lives easy, Lindy, we are going to do it step by step. So we are going to say, boom, normal recession. So for me, I like to make my life, no, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that because that's not how I taught it. Okay, we have to do it. So here now we need a steady hand. We say, okay, a very steady hand equals to open bracket 0.3, which is the standard deviation there, times open another bracket. Then we say 25 minus what? Expected return was 17.7. We have to hold our head very nice. Okay, close bracket. So we close the first bracket. Do we need to close the second? I think we need to close the second bracket. Plus, open bracket 0.5. The BM, what are you saying there? Times open bracket 20 minus 17.7. We still remember. Then we are making it squared. Close bracket, first bracket, close second bracket, plus, ladies and gentlemen, if we get it right, we are going to be so happy. And Mpo is going to be very happy because it will be to a credit. Times open bracket, 1 minus 17.7, close bracket, open, squared, squared. Close first bracket, close second bracket, enter. Yes,
yeah,
who is that happy now?
You put 17.1 for the first.
Someone was saying, Mpo is just ignoring. He's saying, what is it to do with me? 7 minus 17.7 plus that, squared. Was it refusing? Okay, open brackets. Why is it refusing to solve? Yes, 25 minus 17.7 squared, close, plus 0.20 minus 17.7, which is fine, squared, plus 0.2, 1 minus 17.7 squared. And once we do this, it gives us a silly error. That's why I wanted to do it one by one. Okay, we are going to do this. I'm not going to be defeated. I'm going to refuse to be defeated. And let's see if I cut this, what happens. If I cut that, let's see, what is it saying? What was wrong with my one? Okay, let's come and edit back. You know what? We are going to say this one. Then I will go what I want to do.
If I may ask, you put
Yes.
the square root after the expected return. Should it be before the expected return?
I put the what?
The square root, the square before, it should be before the expected return when you multiply the expected return. So it's 25 minus 17, and then the square root comes in, and then you multiply the expected return. Am I right?
So it's 25 minus 17.7 squared. Okay, let's do that. No, I'm just leaving that. Whatever I was trying to do there, I'm leaving it, and I'm doing it in a long way. Okay, there's something we are missing there, and then we are doing that, and let's close another bracket there. There's a bracket. Okay, so if we sum everything, oh yeah, yes, Lindy.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to.
Ignoring it.
Thank you, sir. My apologies. I don't know because I don't know if the error is it because of you closed with two brackets or is it just me?
Probably because they were closed with the two brackets. So what I did there was I ran away from the error. You can see what I then did.
Okay, I see that now.
You see what I then did? I then said because I solved one by one. So boom, they normal, then they recession because I was just running away from the problem. Once we add everything, it gaps there. So this one is our variance. Then our SD, and I can tell you my H doesn't even know how to find the square root of 74.41. What do we say here, my H?
Sorry, the square root there would have been square root 17.
What's our formula? I'm asking for a formula there.
Oh, the formula for the square root.
Yes, square root. That one. So that gives us our answer there. And our CV. We are no longer teaching Lindy. We were actually trying to just follow the Lindy. Can you follow what we're trying to do there?
Yes, I'm following. Thank you, sir. There
we go. That's your coefficient of variation. TP, I don't know where you are getting your 0.0488, 0.44873. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's keep our standard, our spreadsheet there. CV, okay. Okay, not what the time 10:10 let me ask you a theory question. Because we started a little bit later, I can ask you a theory question. One more theory question. Okay. The efficient frontier represents ABC. Okay. Make a choice there quickly. Okay, now we started late, so we are going to finish a little bit late, maybe 10 past. But if you are fast enough, we are going to finish at 10. The efficient frontier represents A, B, C, or D. That's yours truly. Make your choice. We are taking a break. This I always call it a break because we are not fighting too hard. Make a choice so that we can move. And then I think we are left with what? Okay, so we are close to the end, very close. But we are going to close with something important. Okay. 0.487315. Whatever that number is, Mahesh. 0.4873. Okay. Let's do this theory question, and then we will do our last thing. Theory question, ladies and gents. So D, I can see D imposes D. Theory question. Okay, probably if one is answered because some have answered in the thing. D, my H says D. Okay, so the efficient fund, okay, let's just go and look at this. So the efficient, actually it's B. The efficient fund are only portfolios. B, portfolio of risk assets. C, a set of portfolio with the maximum expected return to a given. Okay, so that's efficient fund here, not the security market line. Efficient fund here, B. That's theory. There's nothing more I can say about theory because remember the efficient frontier. I can't draw it in the A. Efficient frontier, that Markowitz. Okay, Markowitz. Harry Markowitz. If you go and look in your book about Harry Markowitz, that's the efficient frontier. Okay, I'm not going to ask you this question, but I'm going to do this one. This one also gives me nightmares. Ladies and gentlemen, let me block that. Let me try to teach this one without looking at it. that's why I'm blocking it. I'm blocking it so that it's not too scary. Okay. Otherwise, I'll lose the people just when I've kept you for the past almost 1.5 hours. I'm not gonna lose you last minute for some silly reason. We did this before. Okay, let's read it. You see that we did it last time. It's a multi-stage discount model. Multi-stage discount model. So a company ABC paid a dividend of 8 Rand during the last financial year. Its dividends are expected to grow at the rate of 18% in year 1, 15% year 2, 10% year 3. From year 4, the growth is expected to drop to 6% per year indefinitely. If the investors required rate of return is 10%, what is the intrinsic value of this share using the multi-stage growth model? Okay, we did the 2-stage growth model. Now we are just doing the multi-stage growth model. Lindy, we are not even going to listen to you for the time being. Now, focus on this first before you think about canceling the module. Okay. So remember, we did the two-stage discount. Now we are just doing the multi-stage. Okay, so the first thing we are going to find is the value of dividends. Okay, so value of dividends, we are going to delete. Okay, value of dividends, we are going to do this. So we are going to say this is year 1. It's going to be so easy, ladies and gentlemen. It's how many years? 4 years from year 4. Okay, let's do 5 to year 5 there. So dividend. So dividend was 8 Rand in the last financial year. Okay, so let's put another line here, another year, and say year 0. So it was 8 Rand. Where are we seeing that 8 Rand? There, 8 Rand. So that's what the last dividend. Its dividends are expected to grow at 18% in year 1. So we are going to say this 8 Rand there grew by 18%. I'm hoping everyone is here. Okay, that's year 1. In year 2, 15% in year 2. So this 944 is equals to grow by equals to times 1.15. To grow something by 15%, just multiply by 1.15. Year 3, that's year 2. Year 3, it grew by 10%. Year 3, so we are growing this last dividend by 10%, 1.1. From year 4, the growth rate is expected to drop to 6% indefinitely. So we need the dividend for year 4 equals to that drop to 6%, 1.06. So these are dividends, value of dividends. Then we want to find the present value, PV, of dividends. That's what we want to do. So we ignore year 1. We are only worried about year 0. Why did I say year 1? Year 0 there. So year 1, what's the present value? Remember, to find the present value, we say the dividend divided by the expected return is given here, 10%. So because it's year 1, we say divided by 1.1 to the power of 1. But remember, to the power of 1, we don't put the power of 1. In year 2, we say the dividend divided by 1.1 to the power of 2. In year 3, we say equals to the dividend divided by 1.1 to the power of 3. We don't care about year 4 for the time being. But what we can do, so now we have our dividends for the period, for the multiple, but now we want to find the price in year 4, P. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. So we are saying equals to P in year in year 3. So P in year 3, we are going to say, remember, the price using the constant growth period, price is equals to D1 divided by expected return minus G. Dividend discount model, what we did last week. You've forgotten. I forgive you for forgetting, but I won't forgive you if you are not focused. Equals to, so our D1 in year 3 is equals to year 4 divided by the expected return, ladies and gentlemen, 0.1 because 10% minus constant growth here. It's given the constant growth is here, 0.06. So that's our price in year 3. But now we want to discount that price to year 1. So we say equals to that divided by 1.1 to the power of 3. What we're doing there. So to find the price now, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be so easy. So we are going to just let's pull our present values of dividends here onto there. And to there, and to there. Then we say our price, let's remove that year 5, we don't need. So our price is equals to our price is equals to as simple as equals to, we are adding, we need to waste a little bit more time. That's a mistake. Escape. We are supposed to use this one, the present values. This one. So we are just taking the present values there. So our price there is equals to just a sum of these present values. Sum of these present values. 264.28. Let's compare it to what is there. So whatever I was doing there, step by step, is this what you are seeing there. Any questions?
I think I need to practice this one a little bit more.
Okay, but okay, let's do this thing too. So yeah, your question is So you are just going to follow these steps. Step 1, find the dividend. So D1, D2, D3, D4. Step 2, find the present value of dividends here. Then you say there D1, D2, D3. D4, you use it to find the price. Then you find the price here. Present value. Then you find that. Then you add everything. Then you get 264. Yeah. Question. Lindy, you had a question.
I was gonna request that. Say thank you. Do you have another example before we get to the exercise, to our own question? Please.
Okay, I'm trying to think. What are we going to do there, Mahesh? What do you think?
I have no idea myself.
You are not ready to make any decision.
Yeah, just gonna play it safe this one, eh?
Umpo, what do you think?
Well, let's attempt. Let's see.
Let's attempt. Let's
just
see.
work with it and then we can just.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, TP, what do you think?
I agree. Let's just attempt and we'll see.
Let's give it a shot. Yeah, okay. So remember the first step, find D1. How many years here? From year 4. So you find D1, D2, D3, D4, and D4, same 3 years. Same 3 years. So when you find D1, you post it, you post. Then at about 6 past, then we are going to pause it so that we can close in time. Otherwise, it will be too long. Okay, so then you can do the steps D1, D2, D3. And then you find the present one or present value D4. Find the present value of D1, D2, D3. That I think that you can do. Archbishop Tutu said the only way to eat an elephant is one piece at a time. So that's what, so you do the one piece D1, D2, D3, D4. The next piece of the elephant, present value. You're eating nice, the elephant will be so nice. Okay, Mahesh, I can see you are taking a bold move and putting everything in Excel. It will make your life easy. Okay, let me just see. Okay, one more minute so that we can do together, so that we can close. Otherwise, it will be too long.
So can you go one slide back to the steps?
Did I do one?
Okay.
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. No, it's fine. Sorry. I see the steps.
Okay, let's do together because I'm thinking time is running away from us now. Okay, ladies and gents, let's do this thing together. Let's do this thing together. Look at me. I'm pulling the wrong thing. This is the thing I need to pull. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to delete all this so that our life is easy. Someone was saying we can't see. Let's zoom nicely. Okay, let's do this. Yes, 0 there. So we are saying dividends, ladies and gents. The Discovery paid a dividend of R6 year. During the last financial year, its dividend are expected to grow by 25% in year 1. So we are saying equals to that times 1.25. So in year 2, it is growing by 12%, 18% in year 2. See, don't make my mistake. Don't make my mistake. So it grows by 18% in year 2. I think some people are getting irritated to say, but I was getting to the answer now. But what can I do? We need to close. So I have to do equals to in year 3 equals to that times 1.12. In year 4, from year 4, we need to do year 4. Let's highlight that. You will remember we are going to use it for something else. From year 4, it is expected to drop to 10%. So we need D4 equals to that times 1.1. Okay. So we have our D's. So now we are going to find the present value of dividends. Present value, we are going to ignore that one because we don't need it. Okay, 10.9, Lindy, where we are together there. So now we are doing, Lindy, we're together, we are going to find present values. Required return is 19%. So we are going to say year 1 equals to that divided by 1.19 to the power of 1. I'll just break my own rule. To the power of 1. But to the power of 1 is pointless because to the power of 1 doesn't do anything. Equals to that divided by 1.199 to the power of 2 equals to that divided by 1.19 to the power of 3. The power of 3, yes. Okay. So now we want this one, we use that dividend to find the price. So to find the price, remember we're using the capital asset pricing DDM, not the capital asset pricing model, the dividend discount model. We say equals to D1, which is D4 there, divided by 0.19 minus G. G is 0.1. But let's bracket this thing together, otherwise it will give us a crazy answer there. So 121 is the price in year 3. But in our year, the year we are interested in, the price is called, we are going to say, to find the present value equals to that divided by 1.19 to the power of 3. The rest, ladies and gentlemen, is history. Because we're going to say that plus this present value plus this present value plus this present value. 90.19. Any questions? For me, 0.32, actually it's exactly the same. Any questions? So this is the better presentation you can see there. This is a better presentation actually, because it's more clear than in Excel. We can actually see the formula. Any questions? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? It's 11 past. It's 11 past. I will send you these slides once I'm done.
You need to practice more.
You need to practice more. True.
Yes.
True.
The last part where you put to the power of 3,
yeah.
I was actually thinking that we needed to put to the power of 4 because we are working on 4 years. So I think that's where I went wrong on my Excel.
That would be a popular mistake there. But if you remember, this price is in year 3.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
remember that it's 1 year back. 1 year.
Yes, it's 1 year back.
So whatever the years is, it's not the total amount of years; it's the year back.
So, the last year where you are growing your year, that's what.
Growing the dividend. All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, all this I'm doing it easily. You can see me throw it in Excel and just do it like it's because I've done it over and over and over and over again. Lindy, the only way I know how to tackle these challenging modules, calculation modules, is to do it over and over and over. Just give it time. Give it time, and it will come right. That's the only way I know. Some other people might have better solutions, but for me, the way I passed and did all these things over and over and over and over again. Not by giving up. That doesn't give you a degree.
Sir, I just want to find out, would all the questions be phrased in a similar way? What do we need to look out for should the question be